Okay, let's just get right into it. It is impossible to deny the appeal of vaping. I mean, it tastes like candy, it doesn't leave that gross smell on your clothes, and it delivers a super clean hit of nicotine that can feel like it helps you focus or even just relax. So if you've picked up the habit, it's totally understandable. But there are some things happening deep inside your body that the industry is definitely not telling you about. And this right here really gets to the heart of it all. The terrifying reality is that the vaping industry is just so unregulated, and the science is only now, finally, starting to catch up. For the longest time, we just didn't know what was going on. Well, now we do. So in this explainer, we're going to break down the 3 hidden truths that are coming out of the lab. These are the facts that reveal what's actually happening every single time you vape. All right, let's start with the first and probably the biggest misunderstanding about vaping. You might think you're inhaling a harmless vapor, right? But that's not what's entering your lungs at all. So this is so crucial. What you're breathing in isn't clean steam like from a boiling kettle. It's actually a sticky chemical aerosol. It's made of propylene glycol and glycerol, literally the same stuff they use in smoke machines at concerts and plays. Biologically, it's way closer to inhaling warm body spray than it is to breathing in simple water vapor. And here's where it gets really dangerous. That aerosol is made by a tiny metal coil that heats up insanely fast. And as it heats up, it can't help but leach microscopic particles of metal directly into the liquid you're about to breathe in. And we're not talking about tiny trace amounts here. Clinical studies have consistently found significant levels of these heavy metals in vape aerosol. And just look at that last one, nickel. Nickel is a known carcinogen when you inhale it into the sensitive tissue of your lungs. So your body immediately recognizes these tiny metal particles as foreign invaders. Your immune system basically panics, and it sends cells rushing to clean up the mess. This whole process creates massive inflammation and can cause fluid to build up inside your lungs as your body desperately tries to protect itself. Now, this leads to a really important, actionable takeaway. If your vape ever starts to taste weird or metallic or burnt, that is a huge red flag. It means the liquid's running low and that coil is overheating, breaking down all those chemicals into new and potentially even more harmful compounds. The advice from experts is crystal clear. Throw it away, immediately. Okay, let's move on to our second truth, and you'll see how this all connects. This one is all about those delicious flavors, and it exposes a trap that so many of us fall into. This idea that food safe automatically means safe to inhale. And this is just a brilliant way to understand the point. Think about a spicy chili pepper. Your stomach acid is literally designed to break it down, no problem. But would you ever even think about trying to snort it? Of course not. Your lungs are a completely different, way more sensitive environment. A chemical being safe to eat tells you absolutely nothing about whether it's safe to breathe. And researchers have now confirmed that many of these common flavoring chemicals are highly toxic to lung cells. Cinnamaldehyde, which is used for cinnamon flavors, has been shown to actually kill cells and cause genetic damage when you inhale it. Benzaldehyde, which gives you those yummy cherry and berry flavors, is a known and severe irritant to your entire respiratory tract. So here's another piece of really practical advice. If you're trying to taper off vaping, one of the best harm reduction strategies you can possibly use is to switch to unflavored liquids. This immediately cuts out this entire category of unknown, lung-damaging chemical reactions while you work on stepping down your nicotine intake. And that brings us to our third and final truth, which is all about the nicotine itself and how the design of vapes removes all the natural barriers to consumption. This leads to a level of addiction that, honestly, we've rarely ever seen before. Just think about it for a second. Traditional smoking has a lot of what you could call friction. It's harsh, right? It burns your throat, and you usually have to go outside to do it. These things naturally limit how much you consume. Vaping gets rid of all that friction. It's smooth, it tastes good, and you can do it pretty much anywhere, which allows you to just shower your brain in nicotine all day long. And this is the result. This slide just clearly shows that the potential for your daily nicotine intake is astronomically higher with vaping. You can easily go through an entire pod in a day, which delivers a dose of nicotine that would be almost impossible to get from traditional cigarettes. Now, this is just devastating for the developing brains of teenagers, where it can permanently alter their reward systems, leading to issues with attention and impulse control down the line. But even for adults, this extreme dosing creates a vicious cycle. The feeling of anxiety or stress you feel, it might just be your nervous system going into a minor withdrawal between hits. Okay, so after all of that, you might be feeling a little bit concerned. But the goal here isn't to scare you, it's to empower you with the truth. So let's talk about the path forward if you're thinking about maybe quitting. And here is the first piece of genuinely good news. The chemical that's actually causing the physical addiction, nicotine, is completely flushed from your system in just 72 hours. That's it, 3 days. So the timeline for what happens next is pretty clear. And let's be honest, those first few days, they're going to be tough. That initial 72-hour window is step 1 and 2 right there. It's when the nicotine leaves your body, but it's also when physical cravings will be at their most intense. But here's the key. Once you push through that specific time frame, you hit step 3. The worst of the physical battle already starts to fade. From there, it's really about giving yourself the grace and patience to get through the next couple of weeks as the lingering symptoms subside. The most intense part is temporary, and it really does get easier. Ultimately, it all comes down to this one question. Knowing that the science is only just catching up, and knowing what it's revealing about heavy metals, toxic flavorings, and the supercharged addiction, are you willing to continue being the test subject? The choice, of course, is yours.